Right, we'll continue here now that we've seen how easy it is to apply one of these Lumetri looks. But we've seen the problem, haven't we? It seems that we can only turn it on or off. We don't get any adjustment parameters. Well, I'm going to show you how we can get round that by using something called an adjustment layer. Now, I'm only going to introduce adjustment layers here because there is another tutorial on it in the next section. So if you come a little bit unstuck here, skip forward to that particular tutorial. Anyway, let's choose an appropriate Lumetri look. I'll click here and I'll just use this vertical slider to drag down. And here we go. This is the one I want to use. This one, Gold Tobacco, only because it's going to sort of emulate what we've been trying to do over the previous tutorials, imposing a sepia tone across our clip. So by having Gold Tobacco selected, I'll hit open. Okay, great, it's been applied. It's too strong, it's too vibrant, and as I said, so far we've not been able to do anything other than just switch it on or off. Well, that's because we've applied this Lumetri effect directly onto our clip. Let me show you a different method. I'll right click on here to remove it, so I'll run down and hit clear. I'm sure if you are a Photoshop user as well, this will all be second nature. Adjustment layers are, as a Photoshop user, you will know are part and parcel of a program. Okay, now I just need to come down to my project panel and down to the bottom right. In fact, I can't quite see what I want, so I'll drag to the right. Okay, this is the new button I need to click. Now it's just slightly off screen, but on your screen you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the option, I think it's about third one down, to create a new adjustment layer. Okay, and once you do, more than likely you are going to see this adjustment layer dialog. So I'm going to leave everything set as the default there, so I'll OK it. Okay, now that's not applied it to our clip. All we've done is, here within the project panel, we've created that extra file type, this adjustment layer file type. You can see the label there is a different color to distinguish this. So what we need to do is drag this onto the timeline above our clip. So I'll do that, I'll left click and drag it over here. And of course you need to place it above the clip that you want to apply this to. Now for our example, I'm not too concerned about dragging it over to the right for the full length of our clip, but that's what you should really do. And in fact, if you've got multiple clips, then you would need to drag it for the entire duration of those clips. For our example here, we're fine. Okay, so that's the adjustment layer created and in place. Now I need to come back over to my effects and find the Lumetri filter once more. So with it being there, I'll left click and drag this, but not onto the clip, this time onto the adjustment layer. Consequently, as we've seen in the previous tutorial, as soon as we do this, we are now able to navigate to this particular folder where we see all these different speed grade presets. So I need to come down to the relevant one. Here it is, this Gold Tobacco, and with it selected, I'll hit open. Okay, perfect. Or you might be thinking, hang on, that's not perfect. That hasn't done anything. That's exactly the same as it was before. Well, that's where the beauty of having an adjustment layer comes into its own, because now we can adjust the adjustment layer in terms of opacity. So with the adjustment layer selected, and remember the Lumetri filter has been applied to this, I can come up to opacity, and then now we can use these controls to adapt the look. For example, if we don't want it to be so intense at 100%, then of course drag the slider to the left until you get the balance that suits you. Alternatively, leaving it at 100%, you could come down here to the blend mode. And again, if you are a Photoshop user, these blending modes will be second nature to you. It's probably a little bit too difficult for me to talk through every one of these with you if you've never used blending modes before, so I would suggest just try them out. You will immediately see what it does to the clip. For example, if I run down to this one, Screen, well, as you can see, that brightens the clip up quite considerably. I'm not too keen on it myself. Let's try a different one. Clicking on here once more, maybe you want it to be a little bit more edgy, so I'll run down and choose this one, Hard Light. Okay, now that gives me a little bit more detail. It's still quite blown out in terms of the highlights, so I could come back up to the opacity and reduce this until I find the setting that I like. Okay, so that's a quick run through then, how we can manipulate our Lumetri filter using adjustment layers. Okay, right, I'll leave it here and I'll see you in the next one.